Hippie Pawpaw, and today we are going to be playing Dead Cells. Uh, why, you might ask? Because YouTube allows me to see what generally the types of content that you guys are looking for. And I saw one of them was frustrating platformers. So we're going to, and this is probably the closest thing to frustrating platformers I own, other than Hollow Knight, but I didn't feel like doing Hollow Knight right now. Anyways, so we're gonna use the save file that I have the most progress on, simply because I don't plan on making this a series, so as a one-off video, I feel like this would not be interesting and engaging enough if I like. I know I took brutality over survival. That is because I prefer brutality. I just don't have any brutality related weapons available to me right now. I like this ability. It adds one more lightning orb every time you use another skill. Now, right now I don't have any skills, so that only does so much, but, you know. Oh, hey, look at that. Another skill. And hey, to get 2 uses out of that, that counts for 2 skills. That counts for 2 skills, which lets me max out my orbs. And I took the King's Claymore, and I took King's Cleaver, or whatever it's called, over the King's Claymore. Not over because what I had equipped was just a regular Claymore. Yeah, so by the way, you might think at first, when you first start playing this game, you might think that you want to invest in a variety of different skill types, to optimize for health, but you actually want to pick one skill type and stick to it, because that way you're able to optimize your attack count. Much more important. Especially because, I mean, like, to be honest, this is the kind of game where you're gonna get. This is the type of game where, like, to be honest, at a certain point, there's gonna come a certain point in the game where, like, everything will just start hitting you like a truck, no matter what you do. It's not as helpful. It's not as helpful as, like, just actually. It's not as useful as, health isn't as useful as DPS. This is what I'm trying to get at. Ooh. Ooh, Amazon. Oh, by the way, so So I'm not actually. So I'm right now. Today, I'm just playing the game. If you want an explanation on, like how this game works, I would suggest watching Windet's video. I'll put the link in the description. You should watch his video after you're done with this one, because oh yeah, my cursor's just there. As I was saying. First of all, he is very funny. Second of all, he does actually provide a very good explanation, and does a very good job of putting into perspective just how hard this game can get. Now, I have not actually gotten that far into this game. I actually have more... Oh, I don't have that thing yet. I actually have more progress on the mobile version of Dead Cells because you know, I have Play Pass. I have Play Pass, which means I was able to get the game and all of its DLC for free on my phone. But it costs money to, you know, play on other devices. But eventually I gave in and spent the money to get it on Steam. But I mean, it's also the fact that on my first computer, you know, I had my first computer for a while, and for my first computer, I never actually got Steam. Like my first computer, I just used it for like, you know, schoolwork and stuff, especially because this was during the pandemic. Because, like, to be honest, I was much more of a Nintendo kid at the time. So, So Minecraft and Roblox were like the only PC games I played, and neither of those require Steam. Sorry, I'm just spinning a lot. Yeah, so I didn't actually install Steam until I got the computer I have now, and I've only had this computer for like 2 years now. A little less than that, honestly. Wow. I am really not playing smart today. But I mean, also, even when I was more of a Nintendo kid, like Dead Cells is also available on the Nintendo Switch. But at the time, I just, you know, decided I didn't really want to spend the money on... I just decided I didn't really want to spend the money on... I didn't really want to spend the money to buy a game I already had for free. So like, because at the time, I did want to get it on the console, but only so I could play on controller instead of the crappy crappy mobile controls. Well, you know, for the longest time, that was not... By the way, sorry if the audio balancing's off. I don't know. Oh, yes. This is an check. Wow. Well, I don't like the tonic, and I don't care about the amulet, so I guess I'll take this. It says it does a critical hit if you stab them in the back. But even if you hit them normally, you still like. If you still hit them normally, I'm pretty sure base attack, a non-critical hit still hits for more damage than a crit with the Panchakus I had did. And in case you were wondering, the Panchaku I had were literally just pan nunchucks. It's literally just, you know, what a nunchuck, but like better. Also, I got this modifier that gives me literally just lets me get a bonus for combos. So literally just the modifier I chose is that you get rewarded for getting a combo kill. Combo kill. Sure, I'll take this because not only because it's melee and that's what I'm invested in, brutality, and that's what I'm invested in right now, but also throwing knives. Sorry, you can't see, but I'm physically stimming a lot, and I've been doing it a lot recently. Yeah. Throwing knives inflict bleeding, so a kind of fun thing you can do is like normally I can get away with doing less hits because either the throwing knife is stronger or these enemies are weaker, or maybe they're weak relative to the throwing knife, but you know. Normally you'd have to like throw like 3 knives at them, but like normally, yeah, 3 knives. It's funny because you can just like throw a couple of knives at an enemy, and that's like more than enough to. That's like more than enough that they'll just like die of bleed damage. I'm sorry. Throwable objects. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Basically, in case you didn't know, you get one throwable object for every for every enemy you kill. And throwable objects are literally just guaranteed stun. So for all basic enemies, you can kind of just immediately get it back. Because as you can see, running up to an enemy and stunning them, like sometimes before they even see you, does like most of their health, if not all of it, run in and finish them off. So I accidentally wasted. Unfortunate, but we're good. By the way, also the Panchaku, in exact contrary to the Assassin's Dagger or Assassin's Knife, or whatever it's called. Do crits if you're hitting them in the front. Also, there's a version of the Panchaku, which is, instead of pan nunchucks, it's literally just a regular frying pan. And like the Panchaku, it still does critical hits if you hit from the front. No, it's just funny that on top of having goofy pan nunchucks, there's also just... You can just beat enemies to death with a regular-ass frying pan. Well, while I do like the throwing knife, throwable objects are better. Oh, there's also this really killer combo that you can do with throwing knife and baseball bat, because baseball bat does critical hits to stunned enemies. So you can like throw a throwable object at an enemy and then just unleash a flurry of crits on them. Oh, and also I'm pretty sure a lot of enemies will also get stunned if you do enough damage to them. The only flaw with this system... Yeah, see, right before he died, he got stunned. The only flaw with this system is, as I was saying, it was like right before he died. And, you know, obviously, you know, for gameplay balancing reasons, I'm pretty sure this logic does not apply to bosses. And, but, yeah, no. But regular enemies don't, regular enemies don't survive long enough to do so much damage that they get stunned. Like, you can't, regular enemies, you can't really stun off of, you can't really stun regular enemies off of damage, simply because they don't last that. They don't last. Ow. Notice how I'm trying not to swear, YouTube. I'm trying not to swear. It's not an actual issue in any way. I'm joking. I wasted a throwable object on him because he's shielding himself. Well, I mean, brutality is the only thing I have in it. I mean, okay, in the future, I should commit to the survival objects, whatever, and to the survival build, simply because half my weapons are survival, including the one I want to keep. Well, not half of them. Technically, it's a split between tactics and survival, and it is treated like whichever weapon type you you have more points invested. So right now, the Scarecrow sickles and the throwing objects are getting treated like survival are getting treated like survival type weapons. They're getting treated like survival type weapons. Getting treated like survival type weapons, and that they get superior boost, superior damage boost. So yeah, this area has many bosses. I mean, I guess that's a good use case for doing enough damage to stun an enemy, but you know. It's not great, but whatever. The general idea behind the bat and throwing object build is that relies on stunning enemies with crit damage. That's like very heck, you can stun an enemy just by busting. Sorry, I cut that off at the wrong time. Just by busting down a door in front of me. By breaking down a door right in front of me. Right as I said that, as I died. Alright, this is probably going to be a shorter video, so this is going to be my last attempt, probably. So that means we gotta lock in this time. I'm going to try to stim less, because even if you're fine with it, I personally find my own stimming annoying. Not a thing I enjoy, is it? I'm gonna tell you guys, this is, you know, this probably isn't quite the same for every person who has stims or ticks or whatever you want to call it. So don't put every person with stims or ticks under the same umbrella. Listen to everyone's individual needs. But for me, stimming is not a thing that I enjoy and do for fun. Stimming is an activity that I feel encouraged to do, and my brain will, and I will feel mentally uncomfortable. I will feel mentally uncomfortable if I actively try to force myself not to stim. Like, you ever just, like, if you're ever just in a situation where you, like, I know the whole stereotype about not being able to sit still is more specifically an ADHD thing, but just, like, generally, if you've ever felt like you're in an uncomfortable situation, and you just kind of have to sit there and just be uncomfortable, that's kind of how it feels sometimes. That's kind of how it can feel, but like internally. trying to have this guy mark enemies for me to kill, and it resets his timer. Their timer, I don't want to say. But you know, it resets their timer. But it can be kind of annoying to juggle. I prefer specifically the legendary version of them, because the legendary version, they have a legendary modifier that basically literally just makes them last forever. So it's convenient because the idea is you can press their button again to summon them to your offhand. And if you defeat enemies that they have marked, then it resets their timer. However, I don't actually like trying to manage this, and it's really better to just. It's really. I would really prefer simply just keeping them out, especially because, like, I'm getting hit while I'm trying to juggle them, and, like, you know, taking it, and, like, you know, I have to go out of my way to use them instead of instinctively mashing Y, because Y is my melee, because for me, Y is my melee input. It's not terrible, but my keybinds, or I guess controller binds, whatever, you know. My keybinds are kind of stuffed, are a teensy bit stuffed, or for this game are a teensy bit stuffed, because the default is L, R, ZL, and ZR, or being all four of your weapons, being all four of your weapon buttons. But since I, like, play Breath of the Wild and stuff, and similar games, I'm used to the Y button being attack. I mean, you know, I also play games like Splatoon, where ZR is attack. But in this game, that doesn't feel right, because, you know, ZR is already secondary abilities. It's already one of your secondary abilities. You know, if you didn't put, and, you know, where would your other secondary ability, where would that secondary ability go? In a place like that would make sense. And then my dodge roll is R instead of L. I mean, I don't know if it's instead of L, but it's, you know, I don't remember which button my main hand was originally, but, if it was, I don't remember which button my main hand was originally. But I replaced one of my main hands with my, I replaced one of my main hands with dodge weapon. So I just realized that the guy that drops a bunch of explosives when he dies, you can, I just realized you can knock those explosives away, as opposed to trying to run from them. I'm pretty sure I already got a kill streak for this one. Actually, no, because I'm pretty sure I have to get 60. and I saw a skill marker, but it was probably for 30 kills. So whatever, but I don't care at this point. I have failed to lock in. I need to get my save. I just mean, like, out from this area, because, like, I need to... I can't... I need to heal. I'm actually gonna take the laser glaive, because it's brutality, and also, the cool thing about it is it's kind of meant for crowd control, because it will... It's, like, good for clearing people out, because basically what it does is it does, like... It'll bounce between enemies, and it starts doing critical damage after enough damage. So it's really good for clearing out crowds. Or I mean, just like, honestly, generally, any group of more than one enemy. Because it is pretty much useless. Because it is pretty much useless. It is pretty much useless with only... It is pretty weak with only one enemy. But even after, like, 2 enemies, it starts bouncing between them, and then, you know, it won't stop, like, going back and forth between them until at least one of them dies. So I also just got Twin Daggers, which is basically just at the end of a at the end of... It does 1 critical hit at the end of every 3-hit combo. Yeah, okay, so I'm pretty sure I did. You know what? No, I'm just gonna cycle this for the money. Because I don't need any of those. I don't want the bone. Don't want the tornado. I don't really need the amulet. So, yeah, yeah, I did not get that. So in case you didn't notice already, I have a modifier called... oh no, it is a mutation. I'm just getting my names mixed up. Called Yigdar Oris the Ox, which can also be abbreviated to YOLO, which saves you once. And I get it as my first ability every time because you have to take it as your first mutation, otherwise you can't take it at all. And also you can't reset it. So, like, basically, you can't cheat it by clearing out your mutations after you've already used it. So yeah, YOLO, as some people have said before, YOLO is not the best mutation. But I'm still using it for now. On my mobile save, I don't use it anymore, but right now I'm still using it because basically in this game you will unlock, you can spend cells to unlock mutations if you have blueprints for them, but I don't have any, I do not currently have 3 mutations that are worth getting instead of... I do not currently have 3 mutations that would be more useful than YOLO. Mutations that would be more useful than YOLO would be basically melee attacks, slow down your enemies. Actually, I believe that's one of my mutations, and I just haven't been paying attention to it. I think if I survive this area, maybe I'll grab it next time, if I am remembering correctly. basically, it inflicts 1 stack of slow for every hit you do with a melee weapon. And, you know, one stack of slow being just like, yeah, you know. And if you inflict enough, inflict enough stacks of slow in rapid succession, it will turn all those stacks of slow into 1 stack of full freeze. And then Frostbite. Frostbite is basically stacks of slow do poison damage. And freeze is treated like max. And freeze is treated like having a max amount of slow stacks. Because, you know, that is pretty except for the fact that slow is slow, freeze is entirely restricting the enemy's movement, but you know what I mean. Ow, I thought he was dead. I did not jump at me until he, you know, actually hit me, which is sorry. Inni does. Sorry, I was just taking a minute. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, so yeah, basically, with those two in tandem, now not only do your melee attacks slow down and sometimes even freeze enemy. And sometimes even freeze enemies. Basically, on top of that, it basically just makes all of your, it basically makes like all of your hits. Basically, it makes every hit do poison damage, no matter what weapon you're using. This is very much a glass cannon This is very much a glass cannon situation. Most enemies, as in like basically all normal enemies, die pretty quickly. Except you also die pretty quickly. So yeah, this is the Frostbite I was talking about. Oh yeah, there's also like Frenzy, which you get an active speed boost from getting, getting a combo kill. You don't need the combo mutation to get a combo, but you know. Oh, okay, so no, I was looking at this. This is saying melee. It's what it says. Melee kills reduce skill cooldowns by 1.2 seconds. I guess we'll just take Vengeance. Which is just, you know, you get a small buff. You get a small buff when you get hit. Also, so there's like, you know, this is a boss level. And although I doubt that we're gonna no-hit this guy, Normally, if you are able to no-hit... Ow. Yeah, there's a no-hit. But normally, if you are able to no-hit, then you get a free legendary... Then you get a free legendary weapon before the next stage. Before you head to the next stage. Alright, I'm gonna have to be patient. The laser glaive is not nearly as useful. The laser glaive is not nearly as useful against this guy. Because, again, it does very little damage. If it only hits one enemy. It does very little damage if it only hits one enemy. You know, as I'm sure you've noticed by now, this guy's the only enemy here. Oh, I almost got hit by that. I'm gonna be careful. It's hardly possible. That one more hit kills me. And obviously, no, I wasn't paying any attention. Yep, one more hit did kill me. Okay. Well, it's not a great note to end this on, but I think that is where I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to watch Windet's video on this if you're interested in learning more about the game. It's a very good video, and he's also very funny. Please like and subscribe for more content. I have plans for the 100 sub live stream. It's going to be very, very soon. I'm not going to tell you yet, but please look forward to that. So what I'm getting at is, thank you so much for 100 subs. If you're not already subscribed, please do, because, you know, I don't know. It's hard to find a way of saying this that doesn't sound like I'm ungrateful. That doesn't sound like I'm ungrateful or self-centered. I really appreciate getting 100 subscribers. But if you aren't subscribed already, please do, because, you know, we could go even farther, and that would also be really cool. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. Bye.